As you begin to notice a moment of pause, you may find yourself drifting into that curious space between knowing and wondering, where thoughts loop and tangle until they don't. The more you think about how you'll be learning this unconsciously, the less you need to try to understand, because understanding, it often gets in the way of discovering what's already true for you, doesn't it? Imagine walking into a hall of mirrors, each one showing you a slightly different version of you. Some confident, others calm, some wildly successful, others deeply centered. And the moment you wonder which one is you, you might already be slipping into the idea that you're all of them and none of them, because your identity, like a thought, is fluid, isn't it? That you're focusing, not consciously, but that other kind of focusing, like how you listen to a song you never heard and somehow already know the melody. You realise belief shapes reality. But which belief? And if beliefs shape reality, and reality is malleable, then what does that make you? A sculptor, or the clay, or the hands of time itself? You might find that confusing and yet somehow reassuring, because every time you forget a limitation, you remember an ability, like the time you failed and laughed, or succeeded and wondered if that was a fluke. Or maybe you forgot how to not believe in yourself. It's interesting how failure doesn't exist. There's only feedback. Because once you get the feedback, failure is already turned into fuel. You've done that before, haven't you? Notice how something you thought was a mistake became the moment everything started to change. Let's say you're watching someone trip over nothing. They pause, they laugh, they reset. Now imagine doing that with your thoughts. A belief like, I'm not enough, stumbles. And suddenly it's funny because what does enough even mean? Enough for who? For what? Now that's the kind of confusion that opens doors. Because if there's no door, maybe there's only a curtain. And curtains can be drawn or pulled aside. And you never know what's on the other side until you look. Curiosity and adaptability lead to success, and curiosity is a kind of confusion, with wonder attached. So your unconscious mind listens in between the words, the pauses, the meanings that are layered and nested like dreams within dreams. It begins to install without you even needing to remember how it works, because your state controls your reality. So if you stand like someone unstoppable, and breathe like someone inspired, and move like someone aligned with their deepest values, well, you might just become them, wouldn't you? And that brings us to a very important point you already knew before I said it. People respond to beliefs, not reality, because reality is only ever perceived. And your perceptions, they're coded with language, shaped by metaphors, filtered through emotions. And you can change all of those. And once you know that deeply, you may begin forgetting the need to doubt it. Isn't that fascinating? You can forget the old system, because installing a new one happens while you sleep, or speak, or simply wonder what happens next. The strongest frame wins. And guess what? You are the framer, the narrator, the director. And if you say, this is just the beginning, then it is. And you don't even need to remember how you learned that, only that you did. And as you sit with this, in the space between breath and understanding, just know, each example was really a mirror. Each phrase was a doorway, each pattern was a reset, because now, without needing to notice when or how, you're already operating on a new belief system, one built on curiosity, mastery, emotion, action, joy, confidence, connection, and mystery. And maybe, just maybe, the more confused you feel, the clearer your new operating system becomes. And you may find, without trying, that every conversation, every step, every reflection now flows from a deeper part of you, a part that already knew.